Another day, another 3 games to play. And the last one is going to be a pretty big one. Alright, so first things first, a quick look at the calendar. We have had a pretty good month this September, basically winning everything except for Spurs. So a win against Brentford will complete a really good month. And here's what the Youth Academy looks like so far. Nothing too special, a few hidden gems here and there. Well, maybe not hidden, but players with some good potential. Some of the overalls are a bit too low despite the potentials being pretty nice, so that's something that we do have to look into. Fast forward to Brentford though, which I simulated, and we get Mount and Hoyland scoring to give us a 2-1 win. You love to see it. Wrexham though, it's a 3-2 loss in penalties. You hate to see that. Already being out the Carabao Cup is pretty painful, but since we won it last year, I'm not going to take it to heart. What I'm not going to take to heart though is a 3-0 loss to Aston Villa. That's really going to hurt our chances at the title, and even though I didn't show the table, just know that before the Aston Villa game, we were really close to Liverpool. But we move on to player stats, and the standouts this season so far have been Garnacho, Rashford and Mount. Especially Rashford and Garnacho. But after all that admin, we finally get to move on to the first game of the episode, which is against Slavia Praha. We get off to a good start. Nice little link up between Rashford and Garnacho in the 16th minute, and Garnacho smashes it past the goalkeeper in his great run of form to, well, make his great run of form even better. And not too long after that, we get another goal with Rashford getting the ball from Mount. He runs around a bit, he gives it back to Mount, some good chemistry between the two, and just like Garnacho, Mount is able to win his 1v1. And looking back from the editor's chair, Rashford actually had himself a pretty decent game. He got 2 assists and he capped it off with a wonderful bicycle kick in his bottom right hand corner. Who knows, man, maybe striker position is the perfect role for Rashford after all. And not too long after that, we see Bruno doing Bruno things, crossing it across the box, giving it to Garnacho for, let's be honest, what was a simple tap in. But hey, you gotta be there to score them, right? And I simulated to the end because, to be honest, I cannot be asked to finish the rest of that game. But looking ahead, we've got 2 big games in the calendar, Chelsea and Bayern. We're gonna go to Chelsea first. And rest assured, I'll be playing that game because I have to fix the mess that these boys made in that sim game against Aston Villa. Anyway, this is the team we're taking to Stamford Bridge, and fingers crossed things go well. It would make things better if Mason Mount was able to score a goal today. We wait about 40 minutes for the first goal, courtesy of an Anthony cross into a Dalot header. And I think now we need to talk about how good this team is at corners. Moving on, Garnacho picks up the ball deep in midfield. He lets Shaw go. He runs forward. He's got a lot of space in front of him. And all he has to do is sweat the ball to Rashford, beats his man, and it's a simple, composed finish from the Englishman. He's on some pretty good form today. And to be honest, boys, if you're Chelsea and you're conceding a goal like this from Kamara, I mean, the game is already over. Because seriously, what do you do after that? What do you do after conceding the goal of the season? And to top things off, 9 minutes to go, Rasmus Højlund is sent through and he turns Buddy Ashile into a primary school centre-back with a turn like that, and he just smashes one past Robert Sanchez. But I guess I spoke too soon, as Lady Luck has other things in plan for Chelsea. Because to be honest, if you're conceding a goal like this, there's only one conclusion you can come to. But no, seriously, after that the game ends and we are able to give Chelsea a pretty generous, a pretty nice gift of a 4-1 loss at home at Stamford Bridge. And we look ahead at the calendar, and I must say, this month, it's looking horrible. But my win against Chelsea does help to remedy the problem that was caused at Aston Villa a little bit. And now I'm gonna put faith in the boys against Crystal Palace. So I guess sim games are a bit broken for the boys nowadays. But you know what? Let's move on. This is the team I'm going to take to Bayern Munich. And fingers crossed the boys can cheer me up this time. Also, side note, it's very interesting that UEFA gives us Bayern in our group 2 years in a row. Quite interesting if you ask me. But enough chit chatter, as we gotta lock in. We gotta focus up because Jamal Musiala just scores the most FIFA goal you're ever going to see against Onana. And in reaction to that, we push forward. Anthony gets the ball in his wing. He gives it to Dalot. He sends in a wonderful cross to Garnacho. And a green time header not going in is quite painful. But hey, we can rest easy knowing that we've got Rashford on corners. And I swear he scored a similar goal against Bayern last season, right? But after that, Bruno finds space and he's able to send one over to Alejandro Garnacho. 1-on-1 against Neuer. And I think this time around, the pressure kind of got to him in that finish. And Musiala makes us pay for our missed chance once again. And I gotta say, guys, about this goal. Like, why is Musiala shooting like he's Lewandowski? And to make matters worse, Sane burns Luke Shaw and he pelts one past Onana. And my goalkeeper is not having a good night out here. But we move on and we are forced to ask ourselves, where would we be without corner kicks? If Kimpembe is scoring them too, it must mean something. In the 91st minute, we needed someone with ice in their veins to top off the final attack we'd get this game. Thankfully, it was Anthony. And yeah, I think this rivalry between us and Bayern, well, it's not going to have a definitive winner. Not this time at least. They could have been the ones to do it, but we were like, nah, we're not going to let you do that, Bayern. We came back, we made it 3-3. And next time we face them is going to be at Old Trafford. And I don't think I need to say it, but I will for dramatic effect. We gotta win that game. But that's going to be the end of the episode. If you liked it, do leave a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, do subscribe. It also helps the channel as well. I believe we're about 10 subscribers away from 750, 3/4 away from 1000. If you could do me that favor, I'd greatly appreciate it. And in return, I'll say this. Enjoy the rest of your day.